Jack Mustang, the most different than any other channel's channel. Proud supporter of Autism Speaks.
Well, hello, YouTube universe. First off, just a reminder for those Ohio drivers out there, you can actually now take off your front license plate pretty much in your front part of your car. Which is great because, everybody would rather have a good looking car than just a crappy car with a license plate on the front of it. Now, let's just get started. So, the Cleveland Indians are changing their name. Unfortunately, a lot of Native Americans think that the Indians have a racist thing towards them when it comes to the Indian name. I don't think it's racist, but if it's racist to Native Americans, then you know what? Fine. Let them change the name. I say change it to the Cleveland Sliders after the one and only good mascot Slider. People would be devastated if the good old Slider mascot is gone. I love Slider. Everybody loves Slider. I usually come to the Progressive Field for the hot dogs and watching the game itself. Meanwhile, Parma is thinking about changing their name as well. Not sure what the name is, but of course the current name are the Redmen's, or Red Men, whatever I can pronounce it right. Also for Willoughby South, I suggest Willoughby should change their name as well, because the Rebel name is also racist to, as we know it, African Americans, which to me, the Rebel name is just, it's not good. Definitely not good. Now, according to the title in the beginning of this video, I would say it's not a summer bummer after all. At least I get to still do things this summer. And of course, I've been TikToking a lot. Check out my TikToks. It's like coronavirus can't be bad with a Corona beer. Batman. If you can, please plug me in on TikTok. I would gladly appreciate it. And if you would, please add me on Snapchat. But mostly, plug me in on Instagram and Facebook. As I said, it's not a summer bummer after all. At least I get to still pretty much be a free bird once in a while. And also, I can't seem to live without this little pooch right here, my dog Zeus. Gotta admit, it's hard to believe he'll be 2 in October. Now I do actually walk him, but when it comes to extremely hot days, I don't walk him around the block because he's too small and he gets tired real fast. And I gotta admit, we barely got any rain this month, so it's pretty much maybe we might be in a drought or something like that. And believe it or not, there are some days where it is extremely rainy or stormy, which apparently hot weather could create storms. Now, I actually use Storm Shield to actually give me warnings about severe storms. If you guys don't have the Storm Shield app, I really do recommend you guys getting the Storm Shield help. It will help you stay safe either in a tornado warning or severe weather alert in your area. However, mostly I've been keeping in touch with my friends by sending them snaps every day, keeping my streaks up since that's a good thing. And of course, walking my dog would be a nice thing to do as well. Now apparently I would probably have to start riding my bike since I'm at the age where I need to get so much physical activity. One Thursday, it was actually really hot out, extremely hot. I mowed the lawn without any complaints ever because apparently I noticed that my back was so sweaty as my dad took this picture. I didn't realize how hot it was until I realized my back was wet on my shirt. Lately, I've been dreaming a lot about getting a license and buying my first dream car ever so I can go places where I feel free. Yes, my dream car is a 2010 Toyota Avalon Limited in a beautiful gray. I want something just like this. I also want one with this exact interior design, and I love this kind of interior. Let me tell you, I heard a lot of bad things about black interiors, and I heard that black interiors heat up and absolutely absorb the heat, making the car hotter. And to be honest, I love V6 engines because they actually have a beautiful sound inside. I love the sound of the V6. Just makes me feel like I have a lot of power to get to places. Even though I wish it had lane and departure warnings and all that crap, because apparently that would help me, but if I'm not a distracted driver, I don't need those things. Although something that reminds me of my cousin Bailey's 2006 Avalon would definitely be nice. I love these kind of cars, the old cars, and especially the cars from the last 2 decades are my favorite. Also, I can't live without a sunroof either. That would be bad luck for me. One thing I can't do is drive a manual. I can only drive an automatic. One day we actually had our really old neighbors, older than the Fittipaldos, over, and of course, we had dinner, and of course, we had beautiful summer grace, all growing up. I gotta admit, babies do grow up fast. We had beautiful barbecue ribs and a lot of, I think mashed potatoes. I can't remember, but it was a real nice time. Of course, lately I actually bought myself a trail camera, so hopefully I will have a segment of the trail cam footage I got. Only the best ones I've gotten so far. Of course, we got this one with the red-bellied woodpecker at the feeder. So then on that day, my girl Catherine actually texted me if I wanted to go this place called the Ridge with her. And I was really excited because I really wanted to go so bad so I could see it for myself. And let me tell you, it was real nice that she texted me that. Anyway, I got up at 8 and actually no, 7 in the morning, and I had to be there at 8 o'clock. I was a little behind, but I wasn't too behind, and it was a beautiful day for a drive. We took I-77 south all the way down to southern Ohio, which is a 3-hour drive. Of course, we had to drive to Woodsfield first and then turn right. Of course, Woodsfield is a 200-year-old town, which is surprising. Probably from the 1800s, it seems like. Of course, along the way, I actually got a picture of something I haven't ever gotten a good picture of. That's right, a mail pouch chew tobacco barn. Sadly, I don't think they ever sell chew tobacco anymore. And then down the road from that barn, another mail pouch chew tobacco barn. But this is definitely a better picture of one. As crazy as it is, it's hard to believe it was actually still Ohio. Felt like definitely a different state. Even though it was actually, we pretty much on the border of Ohio and West Virginia. And of course, we drove around Ohio Route 800. Surprisingly, that it's called 800. And then next thing you know, another mail pouch chew tobacco barn. And then we turned on this road, which is kind of an interesting road because it is a dirt road. Actually, mostly a gravel road. We eventually got to a stopping point to look at an abandoned schoolhouse. Pretty creepy, and of course, someone told me that it actually keeps collapsing a bit every year. And then about 500 feet in the distance, there is an abandoned house. Very creepy. Definitely a Halloween take right there. And then there was a cow on the road. Isn't it kind of normal that maybe, is it actually a myth that cows actually just stop in the middle of the road and never move? This one did, for some reason, which is kind of surprising because I hear a lot of people say that cows sit on the road and never move. Isn't that weird? But this is a really unique cow because it's brown. Poor little guy, he actually had flies flying on him. And this is cool, a Chevy school bus, and I'm going to say it's probably either from the 70s. I'm going to say mostly 70s, 1970s. And before I knew it, we arrived at the Ridge. And the Ridge is a rather nice small house. The first time I saw this view, I was amazed. And of course, not even a sound of traffic. All you can hear was the birds chirping. That was very crazy. And then me and my girl, we got pictures of us on top of the hill. And me and her, we invented something known as the half heart hand gesture. Or should I say, the half heart with your hands. Actually, it was my idea, my invention. Now next time I will go, I actually bought myself an altitude app to actually measure how many feet and how high I am. And I gotta admit, it was pretty high. I mean, the clouds looked like they were a little bit close. And I gotta admit, I fell in love with this place. It really does actually bring you that sound of music like picture. I actually did discover my own outhouse too, but I haven't really opened it because I was afraid either I was gonna see a dead body or something worse. So then me and her dad actually walked and actually discovered some odd, interesting stuff, especially these weeds that almost look like cacti or else Jack and the Beanstalk like beanstalks. And of course, trees that are actually starting to grow. And of course, something that would definitely look good on a wedding dress, Queen Elizabeth's lace, known as a flower. This flower. Of course, I got this beautiful shot with my Nikon Coolpix P900. And of course, there was a beautiful and bigger one that I shot as well. And of course, I never actually got a better shot of this beautiful indigo button. I don't know, I can't remember, but I think I posted the last video. And to be honest, you probably remember at my Aunt Mimi's I saw one of these birds, but this one was a lot better shot. I had to lighten up a little bit. So we actually then took a ride in someone else's car, a Ford Explorer. And of course I was cramped in the third row, which I don't really like the rows and crossovers compared to like bigger SUVs and minivans. And then next thing you know, we stopped and looked at all this trash that's just polluting all the forests. And let me tell you, how dare they do this? And of course trash like the top of a washing machine, a tire, and then a white wall tire, which I would have loved to actually grab and actually turning into a tire swing. And then of course you get signs like these. And then next thing you know, another white wall tire. Now this one was badly crushed and damaged. Poor white wall. And something came in the middle of it, what appeared to be a very big spider. Very unusual spider. I don't think I've ever seen these kind of spiders in Ohio before. And of course, aftermath of small landslides, it seems like. But check out this neat dragonfly picture I took. A very beautiful black dragonfly. And then we rode another 15 feet and saw a cave, which is very neat. Someone told me they actually went in it and actually saw it in ice. It would have been cool to actually see an ice cave frozen in ice. I would love to probably get lots of photos, but it seems to be hard to climb down for me. And also, can anybody tell me in the comment section below, why do trees grow warts? Is it like a fungus of some sort? So we went back to the ridge for another 40 minutes. And of course I got myself sea glass, aka whatever glass it's called, but it's like sea glass from the creek we went to. And let me tell you, hopefully I will find a place for it. And of course I texted my dad all about it. And of course while I was there I got to meet my girlfriend's family members, including her cousin Addie. And of course her uncle Kevin, which I believe is Addie's father. And of course, when at the end of the day, we pretty much drove to this town with a funny name called Fly, Ohio. And of course, there we actually took a ferry that took us all the way across the Ohio River to the state of West Virginia. It was actually very cool to actually see West Virginia from the distance of Ohio River. If only it were that easy to see Canada from Cleveland onto Lake Erie. Also, look at all those geese over there. Also, look how awesome this tree looks. Very pretty tree. And of course, the geese actually went in the river to swim. There had to be at least 40 geese in that water. And of course, the Ohio River, we actually started to cross on the ferry. I literally thought the Ohio River was bigger than this. I mean, I've seen pictures of it and it looks a lot bigger than this. And believe it or not, we were actually in the West Virginia border. And look at that oil well right there. We eventually got close to it and it was big. I can imagine oil shooting out of that thing. Probably a lot of splatter right there. Okay, so remember when I saw that St. Catherine Road sign in a very bad place? Otherwise known as, never mind. Well, we saw a Catherine Street in the town known as Sisterville, West Virginia. And yes, it's a historical town. I got to admit, I was really excited to be in West Virginia myself. And of course, we went to Country Roads, Take Me Home, Country Roads of West Virginia, Mountain Mama, whatever. I mean, oh gosh, I can't think of any names of the lyrics from John Denver. And let me tell you, I am a huge John Denver fan. We then actually checked out this outside of this place that makes marbles. Kind of reminds me of the B&S Spring Company on the side there. But instead of springs, they make marbles. So Catherine's mom, Ann Gordos, pretty much surprised Catherine pretty much going to this buffet called Quinette's. Of course, it said on a sign specializing in catering from 25 to 10,000. What I had there was a glass of water, and of course, usually you pick your own food for the buffet, but unfortunately, due to COVID-19, that was not the case. Someone had to pick it for me, but I had mac and cheese, meatballs, spaghetti, and rolls. And also corn. Of course, typically at a buffet, you pick your own food, but unfortunately, that wasn't. I know it doesn't sound right actually for someone to pick your own food for you. But I don't know, it doesn't make sense, but I guess it is what it is. At least I got to pick my own dessert. I got this really nice chocolate pastry. I think it's a pastry or a chocolate cake of some sort. Then we left West Virginia and headed home. I actually saw this rainbow on top of a hill. Unfortunately, it was faded by the time that I got a picture of it. We took Ohio 7 North all the way to US 422. We came across 3 nuclear or coal plants of some sort. I took a picture of one of the cooling towers, and let me tell you, I can't believe how humongous these things are. Up close, pretty much right by the road. Then we went under this cool bridge. Then we went under this tunnel that was actually part of another plant. And pretty much there were 3 plants we passed. And then we came across the middle of nowhere. Of course, I think the last pic I ever gotten was the sunset, aka twilight sky. However, I did try to get a picture of these clouds, but it was too dark and I never get a good picture of the clouds. I managed to get a picture of this cloud. Check out that spike on the cloud. Very cool. But I gotta say, the Ridge is probably the most peaceful place to live on. Hopefully I will go back sometime. I would love to come back to this place. Actually, that was a misunderstanding. I wouldn't live here, but I would love to have this home for vacation reasons. I almost forgot to tell you, I actually got this beautiful picture of a hawk just flying over the hills. Very neat picture. I'm definitely gonna add this to my book I am making. Luckily, at least there weren't storms. It was supposed to storm near us, but a good thing the storm went by us, or should I say missed us. However, this is pretty cool to actually see a picture of cumulonimbus cloud pretty much right by us. But it was mostly nice to actually be there with my girl. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and there will be more where that came from. Oh, and mask up. I see you, Dad. Wait, is my mask upside down? And speaking of West Virginia...